these are Mount Kenya leaders, young leaders. Today, President William Samoei Ruto is giving a State of the Nation address. All Kenyans know the state that our nation is right now. It's a pathetic situation. What we want the president to tell Kenyans is that over the last 1 year, President William Samoei Ruto has borrowed over 1.5 trillion. He has broken the record for borrowing. There is no other president who has borrowed such amount of money in our country's history in such a short period, 1.5 trillion, and we cannot be able to see what that money has done. So we expect William Samoei Ruto to tell Kenyans where he has taken all that money that he has borrowed in that 1 year. But we already know where that money has gone because, number one, in that only 1 year, there has been a runaway corruption. In 2 weeks ago, we were given a drama whereby Kenyans lost over 22 billion through Kenya National Trade Corporation. We had the corruption case of over 5 billion, the edible oils. We had the fertilizer corruption where Kenyans farmers were mixed fertilizers with sand and so contaminated sugars, etc. Tell us, hizi pesa zote anauza our corporation na hizi viwanda zenye tuliachiwa na mababu zetu, hizo pesa zote anapeleka wapi? You cannot run a nation with lies and propaganda.
It is categorical that the 1 year that Ruto has been in power, the legitimate regime has been the year of anguish and a year of suffering to the Kenyans. And that one is coupled by blatant lies that this government has continued to propagate. And it is not lost that the president himself, in his own words, he admitted that he has an incompetent team of the cabinet. And that is what we are seeing, that you put in place an incompetent team of cabinet, you put in place incompetent team of principal secretaries, you put in place an incompetent team of state corporations, directors and CEO, and then you come and tell us that they cannot be able to deliberate to run government, and some of them think that running a government, in essence, it's like running a kiosk, which is not true. And that is why you can see our country is its own down bottom pit where it has never been before. Number two, we have also seen for the first time in the history since President Kibaki introduced free primary education and free secondary education that this government has failed to remit capitation funds which is eligible for our secondary schools and primary schools. It is like now saying and converting that the education now has become the prerogative of the rich, but the poor cannot afford to educate their children because the government is collecting money, but it is not remitting the money that is capable of improving infrastructure, paying the tutors, paying for the tuition fee to the student. And that is why the Kenya National Schools Heads Association had to release a statement and petition the National Assembly to make sure and to compel the Minister for Education and his peers to remit money to the secondary school, to remit money to the primary school, so that our schools can continue running and that poor child who is in the village can continue to enjoy the fruits of education. That in university education, President Ruto has abolished the known tradition whereby through Higher Education's Loans Board, even a poor child from Turkana, from Malindi, from the interior parts of Nyandarua and anywhere could access education, do a course of his or her choice. If that money is not released, how do you expect a poor child from a poor background, some of them are even orphans, how do you expect them to access education and be able to rise to those scales where he has reached today? Were it not for the financing of education, he would not be there today. Finally,
today, Honorable William Ruto, in Mount Kenya region, our backbone, the economic strength of Mount Kenya is agriculture. Before you took power, our farmers, our coffee farmers, we are being paid 150 per kg of coffee. Currently, we are having a situation where they are being paid 50 shillings, even 40 shillings, 60 shillings. What happened to our coffee? You have collapsed the coffee sector. Your government has collapsed the macadamia sector. Our factories have closed down. The employees are now at home. They are jobless. So as you go there in parliament to lie to Kenyans, venye umebadilisha nchi, venye umetengeneza nchi, usisahau kuambia sababu ya kuangusha hizo sekta. ya macadamia, ya coffee na zingine mingi. William Ruto, you always say that you are a gentleman. And as a gentleman, unaweza jaribu kitu ikatae kufanya kazi. Kama nchi imekushida, be a gentleman. Just resign. We have so many people here who are capable of running this country. Just resign, uachilie nchi, tuchaguane, tulete mtu ambaye ataweza kuongoza nchi. People are suffering, people are dying of hunger, people are dying of depression. Umefanya maisha ikuwe ngumu sana kwa Wakenya.
If you are incapable of leading this nation towards the lies, the insults, and all that you portrayed yourself to be, politely, kindly resign. The administration and the current government, please resign, for your scorecard is below average and you are unable and incapable of leading this nation.